Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
Have you been delivering on that, Chad? Have you been having all the latest and the greatest from this little corner? Have you? Have you? Ooh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Grim Grizz one. We're going to do savings throws now. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or a heart. If it's over 10, you take half damage. If it's under 10, you take... Wait, if it's over 10, you take full damage. How's that work? Over 10 is half damage. Under 10 is full damage. Choose! Alright, survivalists. Nat 20 today. Look at that. Look at that. Socialists, however, that's a 3. Lovers of wisdom. Look at that. That's a fancy pants 19. And the heart folks are making it in with a 10. With a 10. The Sensates for the Indigo folks. Hey there, Eve. Hey there, Eve. Okay, so the deal of it is Gavin has lost his damn mind, and now I have to stream about it. So let's just go straight into that. Let's see what's in our histories, because we watched it, and oh look, Jacob's on. Jacob's on over there. This is Chad's new stick. The spirituality of imperfection.
And the miracle would be accomplished. Our most common complaint is that we have no time. We modern people are problem solvers, but the demand for answers crowds out patience, and perhaps especially patience with mystery. With that which we cannot control, intolerant of ambiguity, we deny our own ambivalences, searching for answers to our most anguished questions in technique, hoping to find an ultimate healing in technology. But feelings of dislocation, isolation, and off-centeredness persists, as they always have. What do we have with this confusion?
All right, so I have no idea what's going on with that, but that's going on. And now the Matthew McConaughey of this little corner has ran afoul.
And it's about my origin story. And the chapters are necromancy, sacrifices, sorcery, delusion, injustice, dream works, shamanism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and technology.
I think you might have the order of importance messed up there. And why are you coming at us looking like you just got a booster shot?
And the strange situation I find myself in is that I am a person who has met Jesus, I've met dead people, I've had the experiences which prove...
Like, you mean on mushroom trips, or in your dreams, or on a mountain in Sinai? Can you be more specific?
That I have met dead people, and I've also been able to see into the future. I've had the experience that proves that I can see into the future.
No, at best you have an experience that proves you have seen into the future, not that you are currently capable thereof. And what are the fruits of these special visitations? What are the fruits?
I've had the experiences to witness the sorcery that's going on. I've met Satan. I met the ruler of this world. I met some being who's claimed to walk like been walking the
Now that story I haven't heard yet, but the ruler of the world one was totally a dream. Totally a dream.
earth since before the time of Noah. Like, but, and then I've also got these huge claims, like I know how to fix government, I know how to fix the justice system, I know how to fix the education system. I've got solutions for all of this stuff.
But is implementing those solutions within your capacity of care, or are you solving problems outside the scope of your agency?
I know the path we need to be on in order to resurrect the dead.
Why would we want to do that? Why? Why? Let them rest.
And then I can go into a group of people who, and who call themselves Jews, and say, hey, I might be the Messiah. I'm interested in looking for the Messiah seriously, and it seems that I'm disregarded. I go into a group.
Well, the thing of it is, one of the things you should know about being the Messiah is he doesn't go around saying, hey guys, I think I'm the Messiah. I mean, I don't know if there's a specific scripture that says he doesn't do that, but it's just, we all kind of know that's not how it works. Now when Jesus is confronted about who he is, he's got some choice answers, but I don't think he goes around advertising, hey guys.
Group of Christians say things like this and get disregarded. Muslims. I can go to different political parties, I can go to different religions, and I can say, hey, it seems like you would be interested in participating in the story we find ourselves in with characters, valuable characters, who are in these books that you worship, like idolatry. You worship these texts, these words. And it seems like you would want to participate with the characters who are alive here and now, who can do the things that the people in those books could do. And I don't.
Okay, I no Messiah story I'm aware of. Does the Messiah go around saying, notice me, Senpai? I'm enjoying all this name dropping from Gavin. Satan in particular is a juicy one. I don't know about the juiciness of Satan, but I'll take your word for it. Ba-dum-bum.
I don't find a lot of interest. There's not a lot of people interested in trying to create the kingdom of heaven. And it's okay. Everybody's on a path. But what I can do is I can, if you're serious about trying to be a righteous person, trying to be a prophet, trying to be a Messiah, if you're interested in trying to...
If you're interested in trying, you're already having to deal with the belief that you are not. Because if you're trying to be, then you're admitting tacitly, maybe tacitly, that you're not, because you're trying. It's the same way when you seek enlightenment. You're putting yourself in the I'm currently unenlightened, and seeking enlightenment box. It's a trap. It's a trap.
To create peace on earth, fixing the justice system, government, education. If you're interested in this stuff, get in touch. And
what about the problems your local city council is faced with? Are you helping resolve those ones? Those ones, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll work at making it happen. We're not in a rush, and we'll make mistakes and we'll learn. So
You have made a mistake, and I hope you learn. I prescribe to you the following. The film Sucker Punch, and also, what was the other ones? Oh, like 4 or 5 different things Matthew McConaughey was in, so you know what we actually expect from you around here.
Welcome to the agency.
Foul! Foul! You're trying to meme jack me over here, bro, and don't like I'm the only one that's gonna see you doing it because you don't have the mimetic gravitas to pull it off. So, shame. Shame! Shame on you for that one. Remember it.
This agency. We want.
Then it gets creepy. Thanks, Chad. Janice! What a surprise to find me alive, even though it's about to end. It's only 13 minutes, Janice. I usually make it for about 40, 45. All right. That was the main thing I had, though. So, let's spy on Jacob and see what he's doing. He's doing nothing. He's not even monologuing for people. This is me looking saved. You should at least be watching my stream, Jacob. And okay, maybe there's something clean we can run. Let's open the Discord. Let's open the Disc. Do you guys have any questions? It's Monday. I don't even know what to do with this. So I couldn't let that go by, unanswered. Thank you for those of you who send me things in the postman service mail. It really means a lot that I can't go into right now. Here we got one from probably that guy, but he goes by something else on the Discord, and it's terribly confusing. It could be Upcycle Club. Let's find out.
And there are an awful lot of things that you can point to in society. Present.
Oh, it's not even a clip. It's just actually the thing. But it's only a minute, so I guess we're allowed.
That have a God-shaped hull.
You have to point to something where they're adding value to society.
So they have to achieve, they have to add value. But they don't have value.
Yeah.
What if it's just mechanics out there and it's mechanics in here?
That argument destroys rationality.
We're really coming up against the buffers of biology.
Reality is always pushing back at us. There is more. What is this pointing to?
This is not where the story ends.
It's all derived from Christianity in the end, isn't it? I mean, this is the thing with...
It is the best story ever told. Christianity is
the most powerful story that's ever been told.
More people have found it thrilling and moving and believed in it than in any other comparable conglomeration of stories.
Christ dies. So Christ actually takes on the curse, but changes it into the highest thing. Takes the thorns that Adam received as a curse and puts it up as a crown. I mean, it's crazy.
Nobody here understands what you're saying, King Ragnar.
No, they may be. They ought to listen instead of talking. We are going to lift the boats up the cliff. Then, we are going to carry them across the mountains, past the forts, and then simply slide them back into the river, upstream.
I'm not sure I can get away with more than 30 seconds of that at a time. But before we watch the last 30 seconds, you should know that guy down there in the chat is also streaming from time to time now to the YouTubes, thanks to the mighty power of multi-streaming with Restream.io. It's Bong Hall himself.
Oh shit! It's gonna be a fun day today. Oh shit. Oh shit. I can see it already. It's gonna be a fun one today.
We'll have to take his word for it. That's as much as I'm playing of that. And now the last 30 seconds of the clip from the good old Upcycle Club, who goes by something else on the Discord. Shh.
Carry them. Up there.
Yes. Up there. You can do that, can't you, Floki? Or am I wrong?
No. I can do it, Ragnar. I can do it for you.
Oh, what a beautiful way to say to somebody you can do something, eh? Well, let's see, how might I entertain you? You do know that there's been like a manic bender over the last weekend, and there's all sorts of stuff on the streams and the telegraphy, which still hasn't achieved enough likes to unlock part 4, and I've gotten some pretty severe criticisms. Apparently, the connoting line did not go over well at all. In other news, we are doing this and the CHINO 23 thing, where you can join me and reportedly Chad and perhaps even Father Eric in the campgrounds in CHINO at Paredo Regional Park in May from the 17th through the 22nd. Right now, emailing me at grimgriz at the Gmail is the official way to get involved with that. There's also some links in the description, one of which is LINDER'S lodging list, which apparently involves hotels and B2Bs and other things I don't quite understand. Where's this one? I'm waiting for chat to load over here so I can post the "why don't you come sit next to me" link. But chat is yet to load because YouTube. There it is. Here is the "why don't you come sit next to me" link, which is now pinned in the place of the coffee pin. Meanwhile, from elsewhere in the clip stream, Gavin's beautiful little troll clip of Pastor Paul.
Your first hit of crack or heroin is the most amazing thing. Your first hit of crack or heroin is the most amazing thing.
Speaking of which, here's a clip I grabbed last night from this Hamish fella.
Edward Curtis, who was busy taking pictures of the last people who did get smoked, bro. Who like half those famous portraits of like Chief Joseph and stuff was this dude, man. Edward Curtis.
He was selling Amazon books about the history of how we did the Indians in the West. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of doing Indians in the West, it's Jacob Faturechi from the Putts. I guess you're the Putts today. Welcome aboard.
So I'm doing my Just Chatting stream, and I'm wondering, why does nobody care about my Just Chatting stream? And then I look here, and you're doing your stream, and of course, everybody's over here.
Did you happen to look while I was looking at you?
You were looking at me? I didn't know you were looking at me.
Yeah, I try to cover what's going on in the corner. So I popped in for a second to see what was going on over there, and it was hard. It was sad and hard to watch, so I played something else. But you've been gone for a week, yeah?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Tell us of your adventures.
Oh, it was tons of fun. It was so much fun. I went up to San Francisco, met up with Max of Meaning, and then I went somewhere else, I'm not going to say where, and met up with somebody else and his wife, and we talked. And then I went to Sacramento, and I got lunch with Pastor Paul.
Ooh, did you lay out the plans for the foundation again?
Well, we talked a little bit about it. And then
that's all the Meesey Judy details we get from the lunch with Pastor Paul? Come on.
There's nothing meaty or juicy about it. We just, actually, the sandwich I got, like, the problem was the meat wasn't juicy. It wasn't that great.
What a symbolic accent to the event itself.
And then I had dinner with Tim and Raj and Rick's brother, whose name is Mike.
I like Raj. He's supposed to come back on Saturday for another go round.
Yeah, Raj. So I went over to Raj's house to help him, like, show him around StreamYard, and the agency had cut off his internet, so we just sat around and talked a bit. And then
it's neat how divine interventions happen.
Yeah.
Did you meet Rick? Have you seen this person, Rick? Is he a physical manifestation?
I have, in fact, met Rick more than once. Yes, he is. He is actually a human being. Yes. Although I still like to say that Rick is Paul's alter ego, imaginary friend. What was I saying? Oh, okay. And there was an estuary meeting, very large one. So we split up into 2 groups, and I stayed with the group with Josiah, and we talked about things. I would say the most interesting thing was the idea of bringing a dragon into your into the camp, like domesticating wolves, right? Like the first wolf that was brought in was because Happy was there. The wolf that was brought in, like, people were probably like, "Hey, what are you doing bringing a wolf in?" But that's how we ended up with dogs, or at least the Darwinists would have us believe.
It reminds me of summoning a beholder.
Okay. I can see that. So that was Sacramento, and then I went up to Medford, where
in Oregon.
Yes. I met up with Caleb, and we had dinner with Shane. Shane is not doing great, but he's thinking of moving to Georgia to be with his mom, which would be, I think, good for him. And
there's like 47 Shanes. I'm guessing he's not talking about sleeper cell Shane.
No.
But continue.
I'm talking about Shane.
That's enough. Continue.
Okay. And then next morning, Caleb came to synagogue with me, and we had lunch at the rabbi's house, and that was fun. And then
is he one of your Noahide converts?
No, he is a Christian.
Okay, because that is like somewhere between Renfield and Garments of Skin, and makes me really uncomfortable. But you know, what you're doing it is fine.
I think Christians should attend synagogue services and know what they're like, especially Saturday services, because when you read in your Bible that Hey, Chezi, long time no see. When you read in your Bible about Jesus going to synagogue and reading from Isaiah, like, you have no idea how that happens. But if you came to synagogue with me, you would see exactly how that happens.
Then you'd at least know what it was like. Rascal says, did dogs evolve or did we make them out of wolves? And I would say I'm pretty sure they made a movie that toured all the museums on their IMAXs about that.
Or so the Darwinists would have us believe. And no, not a Christian rabbi, an actual rabbi. Hey, Nefama. And what else happened? Yeah, and then, so yeah, Caleb and I spent a bunch of time together, which was great. And then I went up to Olympia. And
did you go to school there?
No. I did learn how to put chains on my cars.
Finally,
yes.
Welcome. That's one little badge towards your merit apron for manhood, being able to do snow tires.
That there was no reason to put the chains on, but everybody else was putting them on, so I put them on, and then I spent, I don't know, about 10-15 minutes driving on dry pavement, and then I took the chains. Had to learn how to take chains off, which was.
It's better to learn when you don't need them, I would suspect.
That's what I told myself, yes. But it took me a long time to get. The 5 was closed between. 5 was closed, so like it took me a much longer time to get up to Olympia than I thought it would.
Not to take away from your Olympia story, but where do the skinwalkers hide? I've heard mentioned, but haven't come across around any that I'm aware of. If you were aware of, they wouldn't be good at hiding, Neutrino. Obviously. Pajot is the most mysterious because he can somehow appear on live streams during a full moon, which is terribly impressive. But so you put the chains on, you make it past the closed 5 to
Olympia, Washington, where I met up with Antonio and Dominic, and we had lots and lots of interesting conversation. Lunch was really good. I forget the name of the place we went to, but it's like an Irish pub. And yeah, that was nice. And then we hung around, we talked a lot. We prayed a little together, which was nice. And then the next day, I left for Eastern Washington, where I met up with Aryeh Lev. That he goes by Nisharim. He's been on my channel a few times. He taught Hebrew on my channel a little bit. And I met his brother for the first time. And his brother has a channel, and I'm trying to get him involved in. My Discord. And
is he the one with the militia?
Well, he's a homesteader. He doesn't have a militia. I'm hoping we'll build a militia, but he's been in the prepping community for like 16 years or something. And so I stayed at his homestead, which was very nice. And he's one of those guys.
Did you have to kill what you ate?
No. Oh. He's one of those guys that's like, he's a really, really good Christian, like an actual Christian, but like when you meet him, you're not. He just seems like not a very religious guy, and he doesn't think of himself as a religious guy, but he lives a genuinely Christian life. I really liked him.
Well, I interrupt your story about the militiaman to play this clip.
So, why building a zoo without right angles was important for your dad?
I think that my dad did not like or my father, the ways in which society was reining people into boxes. He didn't like the brutalism of the Soviet era architecture in Eastern Germany, and he did not like the rectangular ways in which people's lives were planned out in the late modernist era that was trying to structure the economy and culture of Eastern Germany and of many of the countries that we lived in. And he felt this subjecting people to this Taylorist approach in which our lives are planned by people who do not have to live these lives, but want to simplify them, is especially cruel if you do this to animals, which have no beef in this. And he felt that if we want to...
Speaking of animals, I left Happy with Arya Lev.
I don't know what that means.
You know my
You
dog?
left him in Oregon? Washington?
I left her in Washington, yes.
You left your dog, you abandoned your dog in Washington. What were the
I did not
circumstances of
abandon
you
my
abandoning
dog.
Happy?
I did not abandon Happy, but I thought, well, first of all, Happy really loved the snow. And yeah, I know, it was hard. But I thought it was the right thing to do. So I think Arya could use Happy more for a couple of months. I'm going to go probably in May or June, pick her up because it gets really hot.
It reminds me, yesterday on the stream, we're looking into whether or not the letters to the churches in the Book of Revelation can map to the core drives of the chakra system. And so we looked at the first letter, and they talk about the Nicolaitans, which the Nicorettes apparently, they were into wife swapping, which is, and that's sort of what you've done to the dog.
No.
You're like, here, you can just borrow my dog for a couple months, bro. We'll see how it goes. Man.
Happy liked Arya.
Who's building a militia? It's some prepper guy. Jacob is working into the...
Yeah, Arya's brother James is, I'm hoping to help him build a militia.
And we have a question also from Teo. What did the interfaith prayer look like?
Well, I don't know how interfaith it was, but we just, it was actually a rather Protestant in nature, but it was a little too Protestant, but what can you do when you don't know?
Did it look like the Holy Ghost came down and made us all speak in tongues because we were on fire for the Lord? Or was it just a bunch of people standing around saying nice things to God?
It was a bunch of people sitting around saying nice things to God.
Gotta check. I wonder if the Asbury is still going. Klaus says Kazi could get in here, but I did want to point out in that clip we played how architecture is a subconscious war against your mind. And I think that's what he does.
What is
Although
a subconscious war against your mind?
The architecture. Like from that clip, the fancy scientist man's dad had to build a zoo without corners because the angle of suffering is 90 degrees and we inflict it upon everybody through our architecture, and he thought it was crabby to do that to the animals at the zoo.
Well, I spent some time watching Fiona videos with Ethan's wife.
What are Fiona videos?
Fiona is a baby hippo. Well, she was a baby hippo. She's no longer a baby. But on YouTube, I highly recommend Fiona videos. They're really cute.
I will dig one up if you keep talking about the time you watched them with that guy's wife.
Ethan, you know Ethan. Yeah, after I left Eastern Washington, I went down to Reno, and I spent some time with Ethan and his wife. And, well, so I was actually thinking it might be a good idea to get the cat, let it get used to the house before I bring Happy back. So for a bunch of reasons, I think Happy is happier up there, and I think yeah, that's Fiona.
So you're gonna get a feline and say, "Hey, welcome. This is your house." And now here's a big aggressive dog who thinks it's her house.
Yes, Happy loves cats.
For dinner, maybe.
No.
The territorial pissings are going to be insane. No. You're getting also a female cat?
I don't know. We'll see what kind of cat I get. I haven't gotten the cat yet, so we'll see. But Happy gets along very well with cats. She loves cats. I'm getting the cat partially for Happy.
I'm sorry, I'm watching that lady tongue that hippo's mouth. It was very distracting. Oh, you know what everybody needs right now? Some hot branding. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
Yeah, Happy really loves the snow. She was having a lot of fun with James's dogs and stuff, and I think well she was happy. I think she's happy. I'm pretty sure she's happy right now.
That's how all of my relationships basically have ended from my perspective. Like, you'll be happier over there. You can do better than this. Go.
I think Arye can benefit from having some animal companionship.
Most people can.
Yes.
The animals may not benefit from it, but most people can.
So, Fiona was a preemie. He was born like 8 weeks premature. And yeah, the videos are just so cute. Yeah, they had to like put her on oxygen and an IV and all kinds of stuff to save her, but she's fine now.
All right, I'm talking with Jacob Faturechi about hippos, but the link is pinned to the top of the chat if anybody wants to make it about something else.
I don't think architecture is neutral. So Nakama says architecture is neutral. The design deeply affects humans, but like any narrative, it ranges from wonderful to terrible to in between. So it's not neutral. Like I don't understand what you mean. If it deeply affects
a book is neutral. It depends on what you write on the pages. Teo has come to save us. Welcome. You've definitely changed your chakra color vibe since your last appearance. You're far more blue now.
What was the last appearance? Was it pink?
I called it indigo. And there was a Zoot and me and Weinstein. I don't know if you remember any of it, but you were fabulous there.
I do remember that. Jacob, nice to see you. Welcome back.
Long time no see, mate.
Hello, mate.
I have Australians and you guys, and so I'm just staying away from that word altogether.
What,
Taylor's making me sit up. Look at that. There we go.
Yeah.
So how's it going over there? You just moved, I guess, Theo. What's the new thing like? Is it feeling right?
I'm supposed to have moved today, but no. My things are all packed, but there's I don't know if you can see it. There's the mark on the wall. Things I have to get fixed before I get out of here. So.
Terrible tenant messing up the walls. Fix it before you bounce.
Exactly.
What are you bouncing to? Something better? Something scarier?
Something less stable for sure. I'm moving to London, but not to my own place. I'll be bouncing around. But my parents, I've got a place I can always stay at.
It's an exciting new chapter. What are you putting on my stream, Jacob?
These are pictures from my trip. So this is a panorama I took in Eastern Washington.
That is not how panoramas are meant to be displayed.
I'm sorry. That's Happy playing in the snow. That is sunset in eastern Washington.
I miss
This
the
is
mountains,
Ethan
man.
in his truck. This is snow in Nevada near Ethan's place. This is Walker Lake, another panorama, and it's on the way from Nevada to Reno to here. And this is the 5 commandments to the secret sacred self being displayed at a place I ate at. And
Live, love, laugh, sing, and dance. That's the commandments of the sacred self.
Live like heaven is on earth. Love like you have never been hurt. Laugh like no one is listening. Sing as if no one can hear. Dance as if no one is watching. And as far as I'm concerned, all of those say, I am the Lord my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense, sir. Pretty intense. What do you make of the secret sacred self mantra there, Teo?
I believe you apart from the love one seems semi reasonable. Love like you've never been hurt.
Nope. Love includes being vulnerable, and love includes learning from previously having been hurt, and it requires faith, and it requires, so like all of those are just bad advice that we give because we believe we're atomistic individuals that don't have to relate to other human beings in an intimate way. So yeah.
I will back his love like you've never been hurt before, because it takes more to love after you've been hurt before, because you have to overcome the once bitten twice shy bullshit, and so that's actually a little harder. I mean, I do agree with the concept, don't bring your baggage into the new thing, but
don't
you have
bring
to,
your baggage into the new thing, but bring your experience and your knowledge.
Lessons and blessings.
Yeah. You learn something from your history of having been hurt and love better than you did the last time.
I think you can look a little bit more charitably towards that statement, but I do get what you're saying.
He has difficulties looking charitably toward things. So London's a big adventure. Are you making moves? Are you going to do an estuary there?
Hopefully. Am I the only one echoing? Okay.
It's me, because I didn't bother to put on my headset, so I'm muting a lot.
All right, fair. Yeah, I'm planning to start one. There was an estuary that already took place in London when Paul was there on tour, but I wasn't a part of it. I wasn't part of the London leg of the tour. So I do plan on establishing an estuary in London, but also looking to start one in Essex, which is just outside of London, which is where my parents live. And I've got relationships with churches that the African churches. So it will be interesting to see what they make of this whole conversation. I look forward to bringing that to my Ghanaian pastor. But yeah, I do plan on starting. But more than that, I'm working on helping someone that's starting a comic book. I'm working on a couple of issues for him. So there are other things.
What do you do related to comics?
Well, right now, nothing but a manager of mine when I was doing charity fundraising, which is an whole story in itself. But this really eccentric guy, the type of guy that, everyone, you go out for dinner and he'll tell you, I just ask you, can I start rapping? And everyone's like, do you have to? But it's too late. It's already started. So it's that type of guy, but lovely guy anyway. But he's always got crazy ideas of things that he's doing, and he's jumping from one thing to the other. But last year, last year, he floated the idea that this comic book that he wanted to start, company that I wanted to start to integrate with his old streetwear thing and whatnot. I was like, okay, cool, because it's always bounced from next to the other. But then it was consistent with that. And then last week, I had a meeting with him finally to say, okay, fine, what is this about? And he laid it out, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he's got rights to a few characters, and he's got an artist that's designed some cool characters, but he's got no story and no world build around it. So it's like, just help me build around with me. Yeah. So help me build the world and write the first origin story for what the story is going to be about. So I said, yeah, cool, yeah, that sounds like a fun project to embark on. So I've got a team of 2 other people that I'm bringing on with me to work on that.
That's fascinating. Getting into the world of the symbolic layout on the page, even. And I think it's really important, especially to the extent you stick around, that like anything that exists over time is going to have what I call the Lestat problem. And it's from Anne Rice's books about the vampire. And it became harder and harder to get prey because he became so out of touch with the culture that he had to take on some young, and to the extent that you can be on the ground in London letting us know what people actually think and say it, like what the issues that get brought up in those estuaries. Those are that'll help direct us what issues we're wrestling with here in this underwater space. So that's a valuable service to us to the extent we don't lose you.
Well, I humbly accept the mission and hope to, probably fail along the way, but it'll be fun trying. Jacob, let's talk about your militia. I heard you say, yeah, I'm helping someone build a... Wait, what? Who's what? When? How? Who?
So I think we should make groups of people who are willing to defend each other.
From what?
And then Grim's question.
From a lot of things, most importantly other people. Like, you need tribes because there are bad people out there, and the way you deal with bad people is by surrounding yourself with good people.
Yeah, but I don't know that I've surrounded myself from people that'll save me from the IRS or anything.
Well, that's your fault and your problem.
What affects the body affects the whole of the body.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so good people from bad people. And you are the good people.
Well, okay, no, like Solzhenitsyn says, the line between good and evil flows between every human heart. And I'm certainly not perfectly good. Somebody that I trust apparently did the same thing that happened to Grim, which was he used his wrench to ban a bunch of people off my channel.
Oh yeah, I saw the Grims anyway.
Yeah, I'm actually undoing that right now. But where people look, wherever you go, the human beings there are going to be people, and that's incredibly disappointing. But there is a difference between somebody who wants to be better than they are and somebody who wants to be worse than they are. Somebody who's oriented towards God versus oriented towards evil and themselves. So there are better and worse people, and this is part of intimacy. Like
there are people that are a danger to themselves and others, and there's people that have respectable levels of self-control. I will say that that I've received a confession from the perpetrator of the thing, and
I did too.
And my response was like, I am going to, operating under Canary Protocol, I am going to keep being the victim of security, holes in my security, until somebody steps up to manage my security. So that's just the way it is. Bad things are going to happen to me until I have the support and or wherewithal to like take what it takes to prevent that. I should, as Bart told me before he made his exit, like kick everybody off of the intimate roles on Discord and make the process more vetted before people get that level of access. But I'm still trying to schedule people's fringe encounters, so you know.
Well, this is part of building rules and setting policies as a community, and it's what I'm trying to help do with the foundation, right? Hopefully, there are going to be responsible people on the board of directors, and Mo seems like a good and responsible person to run the organization.
I'm glad that's been your impression.
That's been my impression, and it's been the impression of people I trust. I trust Sam. I trust Hank. Hank trusted Mo enough to hire him to work for him. And so, you know.
And I trusted Mo enough to go, hey, man, I need some of this foundational help with connecting me with people and writing this waiver. And he, like, said he was going to help and then just cold quit talking to me. So that's my experience.
Yeah, I mean,
and if you're gonna, and then it's fine. Everyone's allowed to have their own experience and opinion. But if you're gonna upsell it, I'm gonna have to show the shadow.
That's fine. Mo is a human being, but that's, you know, I don't expect him to be perfect. First of all, second of all, I don't know that honestly what you're asking. Okay, just because you ask for help, it doesn't mean that he can deliver it or he will. So it's not a huge deal to me either way. There's a lot of people who are trying to get his attention, and he's acclimating to thousands of people trying to get his attention.
Yeah, like hosting a talk show. That's a good way to help with that.
Look, I mean, he's trying to jump in, and he's trying to help, and he's trying to take responsibility in ways that a lot of people aren't willing to. So, like, do I expect Mo to be perfect? No, I don't. I expect him to be a human being. I
had asked him to help me make some connections with some people with some camping experience, and Father Eric has stepped forward, and he asked me to let him know if I found anyone. So to the extent that I have. You can pass that on. Thanks for the help. And now to get to the thumbnail of this episode, faith and agency. I wanted to return briefly to this here from Hyunshu yesterday. No, not that. This. Press share. It says it's sharing. Oh, that's why. Add to stream. This part where he says agency is free predication. And we had to run all the way over to Miriam and see what the hell predication meant. Dun, 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 dun.
Predication.
An act of proclaiming or preaching. So essentially the argument I believe Hyunshu is making is that agency is the ability to freely proclaim things. And to the extent I wanted to take issue with that for this faith and agency part is I think you can only successfully agentically proclaim things if you have the faith to back up what you're proclaiming. And that if you don't have the faith behind your LARP, it's not an active agency to proclaim it.
I have to say, Graham, I think if you have your faith behind your LARP, you stop LARPing and you actually live action play it without the roles, and you use your actual name.
My actual name is a legal fucking fiction, Jacob. I can't believe you're too dense to believe that the real LARP is any more than any other LARP. And when you put enough faith behind it, it becomes the role you're playing for other people in their story.
I changed my
not
name.
LARP.
I changed
not
my
LARP.
name. It's my name, Jacob. Like my parents named me Behzad. I changed my name, but it's my name, and it's the name I am identifiable with.
Yes, it's very convenient for everyone if your name LARP is the same across all the other LARPs, which is why it's confusing on the Discord that ups is not ups. But the what, $500 plus fees it takes me to change my legal fiction to Griswold Grimm are not on my priority expense list, unfortunately. But that I'm Grim Grizz is way more true than I'm the one you're obsessed with.
I'm not obsessed with it.
That my name, that fiction, that it's real. It's what makes it more real is the people enforcing that LARP are willing to kill people over it. Like the border between America and Canada is a LARP. And the only reason it's real is because those people are LARPing so hard they will shoot your ass if you break their LARP.
You can call human society a LARP if you like, but human society is as real, if not more real, than a river.
I'm sure that Janice saying they certainly are scary but mostly end up roadkill wasn't directly related to the conversation, but maybe it was. Teo, say something, please.
I'm just enjoying the back and forth. I don't know how much more real the real LARP is than the LARP and the faith thing. As I think, Jacob, you're right in sense that if there's faith behind it, it does becomes more real. But I don't know if it ever goes beyond LARP, because that would require you to have a level of certainty I don't think any of us are capable of.
Like all those people that are LARPing that they're not agnostic? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Grizz stream. Guys, do you
have anything you want to say in conclusion?
We'll go Jacob first.
Keep the faith.
Come on, England.
Thank you, everybody, for helping us all be virtually not alone. And my special guest stars, Jacob Faturechi and Teo Falayi. I don't know how to say that right. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.